Okay guys, welcome to part 3 of our Final Destination reviews. Of course we're reviewing Final Destination 3 for part 3 obviously. Anyways, so the storyline of Final Destination 3, obviously it's the same as the first one and the second one. However, I thought that they done a better job with how they structured the story in this one. This one is to this day my favourite. And I think they structured the storyline really well. Like they in this had a roller coaster, and that was a great setting for uh, a premonition, because the premonition in this is just, it's so well done. I love the premonition in this one, and when it continues, the characters are actually characters you care about. Like all the characters are likable in their own way. Some of the acting's a bit iffy here and there, but I mean, for the most part, the acting in this is actually really good in my opinion. Even though I'm not talking about the acting yet. Anyways, the storyline. So yeah, I'd say the storyline's really good, but because of the characters help the story go along. But I talk about characters more so in the character section. So yeah, I really like the story in this one. I'd probably get the storyline probably in 9 out of 10 for this one. Because yes,
I think this. Sorry, I think the story was quite recycled from the original again, but obviously I think they did do it rather better. Yeah, I think the premonition, where they put it, they set it on the roller coaster and fairground. That was good because it helped. I mean, when you think they're doing it to a target audience, I suppose like a roller coaster would be one of the best places to have put it. I would give the storyline about 6 or 7. I would say so.
okay, so the characters, as I said before, I really like the characters in this film. I thought, in their own way, they each have their own likeness to them, and like some of them, like you do actually feel bad for them dying, but I mean, in the end, it's a horror film, so you know, people got to die. Anyways, so yeah, I really like the characters in this, and some of them are almost relatable. They're still stereotypes in a way, but not so much so. And yeah, so I really like the characters. I'll give them probably an 8 out of 10 maybe.
I thought they developed their characters a lot more. I think, yeah, I would congratulate the writers for putting so much emphasis on actually developing the characters, which they hadn't done in the originals. There's still parts of it where it's sort of iffy, but obviously, like the first two where they're all screeching, we're all gonna die at each other. That's sort of been lessened a bit. So I would think that the characters, I would say, is about the acting.
Okay, the acting in this is actually really good in my opinion. The actors, they kind of done a lot of work, yet they all bring their own thing to it, and for the most part, you believe that they are actually scared for their lives. In the first two, like they're a bit, like, I mean, in the first one, they're like, we gotta stop this, you know. It's like it's a sort of action film type acting. I mean, like sort of action film type presence in the first one, where it's basically just like, you know, they think they got the idea in their head that they will be able to stop it. In the second one, they're just like, if they get scared, they just pop a pill, more or less. In the second one, and in this one, they're actually really scared for their lives and trying everything they can to try and figure out how they can stop it, or how they can skip their deaths and everything. And they even bring research from the first one into this one, which I thought worked really well. Although they didn't include the second one, which was kind of weird in my opinion, but they did include the first, so that was props to the guy that thought that. But yeah, so I really like the acting in this. So, yeah.
I would say.
Oh no, the acting I'd say is probably 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought the acting was probably the best of all of the Final Destination so far. This is before 5. So yeah, the character they made the characters their own. So that's how you could probably relate to the characters, each one of them. I thought that it was very good, rather than sort of like they're panicking and screaming at each other. That they are actually working hard to work out, and you could see that how much work they had put into the acting and into the writing of it. So I would give the acting 8. Atmosphere.
The atmosphere in this I thought was brilliant. They pulled the atmosphere off really well in this film, and like first time I watched it, I actually found it a tiny bit scary. Not as scary as some films, but the tiniest bit scary.
Such as Insidious.
Yeah, Insidious is the worst, but we're not talking about Insidious at the moment. Um, so yeah, the atmosphere I thought worked really well in this. It's always got this dark tone to it, and the fact that they brought in this guy just singing a creepy song every time it looked like someone's about to die, that added so much to the film. And yeah, it almost made it actually a competent horror film, other than just a teen slasher flick, well, a teen death flick. So yeah, I really like the atmosphere in this. I'll probably give the atmosphere a 9.
I think they really improved the atmosphere myself from the first two films. You could actually sort of sense the fear in the characters. The atmosphere is that they realised they were going to die and there was no way to escape it, which they hadn't sort of realised in the first two. There was also the belief that if we kill him we can break the chain, that they sort of introduced that more, they developed that idea more, which I think really added to the atmosphere of you sort of felt hope for them, but at the same time you felt like they're still going to die, which is bad. So I would give the atmosphere a 9. Gore and violence.
Alright, the gore in this film is it's pretty gory, but not as gory as Final Destination 2. I mean, like, there's one, I'm not going to spoil everything of course, but there's one scene where a girl gets a nail gun through her face and
there's also a scene where a girl's sort of head splits like a melon. Spectacular.
So yeah, and so the gore is actually really good, really well done in this. It actually suits the storyline for once. So I would say that gore is pretty much a 8.5, maybe a 9. And by the way guys, just in case you didn't see our Final Destination 2 review, we're not really gonna rate the
violence
violence
really
because it's, yeah. So Chris, yes?
So I would say that the gore is I'm not going to say it was realistic, because they never are, because I don't think that's sort of the appeal of the film, but it's quite interesting, for want of a better word. You could see that they'd put a bit more thought into it. They just didn't think of like the first thing they thought of. They thought, how can we make this sort of shocking? So I would say that I'd say that was quite well done. So I would say that I'd give the gore about an 8 out of 10.
Okay, so
overall
I'd say that Final Destination 3 is a really good film. It's actually a competent horror film this time. It's not just one of those sub-genre horror films where it's just a teen death flick where only teenagers will get a kick out of it. Anyone could any horror film will love this film. So, and you don't even need to have seen the other films to get this one. Like, I mean, with 2 it would have helped if you saw the first one. This one, you get an idea of the first one in this. They sort of give you an idea of what happened. So you could just go straight into this one like I did, because I saw this one before any of the others. And yeah, you will love it. So if you're into horror films, I would suggest watching this. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Give it a 9. So I would say that yeah, this film, it's not so much an improvement on the first two. It's a different type of film. I would say on its own it's quite a good film. As part of a series, I think that brings it down a little because they don't sort of relate to the others. But on the other hand, they really went into developing the characters, and they really went into sort of getting the actors to suit the roles. So I would say that was pretty good. I would give it a 7.
Okay, so that was our review of Final Destination 3. Come back in. Make sure you watch the next video, which will be The Final Destination, or Final Destination 4, as some people would like to call it. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. See you in the next video. So Marshall Smith 50 and Chris S 1009 signing out.